Honestly, I don't know how Ian M. Banks keeps doing it, but I've never had an easier time getting into a book than I did here. I was on board with both main characters pretty much immediately upon meeting them, and absolutely ready for whatever was in store for them. At least I thought I was. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Use of Weapons is, I guess, technically the fourth culture story published, but the short story The State of the Art that was published third wasn't collected in a book until after Use of Weapons was released, that book being the collection The State of the Art, which I will be reading next because I'm going in the order of the novels published. Just wanted to get that out of the way in case any pedants wanted to raise a fuss. Please don't at me, as the kids say. I got this book off eBay from a seller I will not be using again. They were based in the US, but sent me UK editions of all the books I ordered with covers that did not match the listings. And while I was happy with the cover I got, it doesn't match the other books on my shelf so far. Though I do prefer actual art to the vague colors, whatever this is, of a lot of the books that we see these days. Also, this copy has some of the worst copy editing I've ever seen. Like, shockingly bad. But these were my only disappointments with this book. I'll read the back because it's a pretty good synopsis. The man known as Chiradanin Zakawi was one of Special Circumstance's foremost agents, changing the destiny of planets to suit the culture through intrigue, dirty tricks, or military action. The woman known as Diziat Sma had plucked him from obscurity and pushed him toward his present eminence, but despite all their dealings, she did not know him as well as she thought. The drone known as Skafin Emitska knew both of these people. It had once saved the woman's life by massacring her attackers in a particularly bloody manner. It believed the man to be a burnt-out case, but not even its machine intelligence could see the horrors in his past. The setup to Use of Weapons is a bit similar to the previous book, The Player of Games, in that we have the culture's Special Circumstances division recruiting an expert for a critical contact mission. The differences this time are that our protagonist, Chiradanin Zakawi, is a mercenary, and he was pulled from a civilization outside the culture. Zakawi's outsider status gives him a unique perspective. We haven't seen anything close to this since Horza Gobachul in Consider Phlebas, and he was an enemy of the culture. Here, Zakawi spends much of the book trying to decide whether working for Special Circumstances puts him on the right side or not. Do the wars he helps fight, the rulers and oligarchs he assassinates, tip the scales in the best interests of the worlds he visits, or for some vague goals the culture wants to further their own ends? If you're enjoying this video, why not buy my book? Flight of the Pangolin is the story of an intrepid group of heroes who decide to exit the solar system over the objections of an isolationist faction. There's actually a lot more going on than that. There's space pirates, a giant spider for no reason, all kinds of other things. Buy it now online wherever you buy books or at our website, www.thepangolinrepublic.com. You can also get fun t-shirts and random other stuff if you want. Providing no concrete answers to any of these questions is Diziat Sma, essentially Zakawi's handler for Special Circumstances. She and the drone Stafin Emitska are on hand to provide him with intel, brief, debrief, and train him. This seems like maybe a familiar scenario, but the book's unique structure constantly keeps things interesting. As I said at the outset, I was really on board with all these characters from the start. Banks makes Zakawi, Diziat Sma, and Skafin Emitska engaging, three-dimensional characters. I think part of that is because of the familiar mercenary-handler relationship. We get what's happening here, so Banks can concentrate on the characterization. And he's already proven to be so economical with his word count in these books already. He can say more in a well-placed sentence than most authors can in a chapter and a half. It's amazing. As I said, there's a notable detail about Use of Weapons structure. There's two storylines alternating throughout the book. One numbered like normal that takes us through what I'll call the main storyline, and another with Roman numerals running backwards, giving another storyline with Zakawi in reverse chronological order. Oh, and within both storylines, there's also flashbacks. But somehow I was never really lost. This is for sure a completely insane way to plot a book, and Banks is a crazy person for even trying this, but I think overall it actually worked. Between the interweaving storyline madness and the way the book ended, I kind of wanted to start reading it again from the beginning once I finished, and if my TBR wasn't monstrous, I absolutely would have. Every one of these culture books has been better than the last, and I'm not sure the series can sustain this high level of quality, but I'm more than ready to find out. If what I've said has piqued your interest in use of weapons, don't do any more research. Don't read the Wikipedia page. Just read the book before it gets spoiled for you. It is a unique experience that I am still kind of recovering from. So that's all for this one. Tune in next time for my thoughts on another great book.